Welcome everybody. In today's session, we will be seeing number system. Number systems in digital systems can be divided into two categories. The first one is non-positional number system and the other one is positional number system. Now, what is a non-positional number system? Usage of symbols such as the Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. They are all something related to non-positional system. Why do we call it as non-positional system is each symbol represents the same value. There is no weightage to each position. So what is weightage will be seeing as we go through. Then the symbols are simply added to find the value of a particular number. Using non-positional number system, it is very difficult to perform arithmetic operations. Even bullet points, what you use, that is also a non-positional number system. So the second category of number systems is positional number system. Positional number system uses a few symbols called digits. These symbols represent different values depending on the position they occupy in the number. The value of each digit is determined by the digit, the position of the digit in the number system, the base of the number system. Now, what is base? Base represents the total number of digits in a number system. If we take decimal, decimal is to the base 10 because we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the only digits we have. If you have to write 299, you will use 2 from the same set of 10 digits. 2, 9 and 9 is used from the same set of 10 digits. So that is the base. If you take binary, binary has only 2 digits, 0 and 1. So the base of the system is 2 because we have 2 digits. If we take octal system has the base of the octal system is 8. The values or the digits in the system is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then if we take up hexadecimal system, the base is 16. The values will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. So these are the only digits. Using these, we write any numerical notation. Now, positional number system, we can use positional number system to represent signed integers, unsigned integers. Now, how do we represent an unsigned integer? Any number without a negative sign, any number without a negative sign is known as an unsigned integer. So if we use plus, it is a signed integer, but still we try to avoid using plus. Numbers that are positive are called unsigned. That is why we call those numbers which are positive as unsigned. And numbers that are negative are called as signed. Now, how do we represent an n-bit signed number? Say, let me represent a 4-bit binary number. 4-bit binary number. If I'm representing a 4-bit binary number, how will I write? B3, B2, B1, B0. So this is the binary number. So let me make this number as X or any B, whatever you want, you can name the number. B is equal to B3, B2, B1, B0. So that is how you're going to represent a number. If it is an n-bit number, what happens? The last one will be Bn minus 1 if it is a n-bit number. Because it is starting from 0, the last one will be n minus 1. Now you can represent this number mathematically in summation notation as from where to where the number is starting. It is starting from 0 and it is ending at n minus 1. So 0 to n minus 1, the bit position can be, say I give a variable I. The bit position can be I is equal to 0 to I is equal to n minus 1. What is the bit position value? Bi into 2 to the power of I. Say, suppose, let me take a 4-bit number and write the number over here. 1100. What does that mean? This means it is 1 into 2 to the power of, so 1 into 2 to the power of 3. So I'll put a cap over here. It is 1 into 2 to the power of 3, 4-bit number. So n minus 1, right? So 1 into 2 to the power of 3 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1, 1 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the, okay, this is 1 into 2 to the power of 2, 1 into 2 to the power of 2 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 1, again plus 0 into 2 to the power of 0, 0 into 2 to the power of 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power of 0. This is the positional number system. Now in this number system, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 0 represents the weights, bit position weight. So what is the weight the first bit has? It is 2 to the power of 3. 2 2s are 4 2s are 8. This has a weightage of 8. This bit has a weightage of 8. The second bit has the weightage of 4. The third bit has a weightage of 2. The last bit has a weightage of 0. 2 to the power of 3 weightage for this bit is 8 bit. Weightage for this bit is 4 bit. Weightage for this bit is 2 bit. And the weightage for the last one is 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So it is 1 bit. That's why we represent this number in binary notation. It can be written like this: summation 0 to n minus 1 bi into 2 to the power of I. Now the next positional number system what we have is decimal system. So this is a standard positional system. 2 to the power represents binary number. If it is decimal, what will be the position? Instead of 2, we will write it as 10. And if it is hexadecimal, you will write it as 16. If it is octal, you will write it as 8. That represents the positional value. Now decimal number system. Decimal number system is again a positional number system. It has 10 symbols and digits, I told, from here to here. The base will be 10. The maximum value of a single digit is 9. See, if you count from here to here, the maximum value a positional number system can have will be 1 less than the base. Base is 10. Maximum value of the positional system number of digits is 9. Say you take binary. Base is 2. What is the positional value? 1 less than 2 will be 1. If we take up octal, base is 8. The number of digits will be 1 less. So the maximum value will be 7. Now binary number system, maximum value of a single digit is 1. 1 less than the value of the base. This binary number system is generally used in computers. Next is octal number system, 0 to 7, again 1 less, so the base will be 8. How will you represent in mathematical notation? I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. If this is the number, it is ki into r to the power of I. Now, this k represents the number. Say, let me take the number as 23. Okay, 23 in decimal, I am taking to the base of 10. So, 23 to the base of 10. This is the superscript. So, we write it as 23 to the base of 10. Now, when I take a decimal number, so what is the positional value? 2 into 10 power 1, 2 into 10 power 1, and the next one will be plus 2 into 10 power 0, 2 into 10 power 0. Now, so if I write it in this format, this k represents, k over here, k represents 2 and 3. R represents the radix. If it is a decimal, the radix will be 10. If it is binary, the radix will be 2. If it is hexadecimal, the radix will be 16. If it is octal, the radix will be 7, 8. And this I represents 10 to the power of 1, I told, no, this one. So I will represent this 0 and this 1, whatever is your power to the radix. So this is how we represent octal, hexadecimal or any binary numbers in mathematical notation. A different number system. If I take a decimal number, what are the digits? It is 0 to 9. So it is 0 to 9, we'll have 0 to 9 till here. So let me put a brack over here. Then after that, what happens? It continues 10, 11, 12. What has happened? If you see, again it is 0. If you see the LSB, the last digit is always known as the LSB. The digit towards this will be known as the MSB. So I'll show over here. This digit will always be the LSB. This digit will be the MSB. Most significant bit, least significant bit. Why that particular name? This digit will be having a power of, radix will be, saying if it is binary, 2 to the power of 0. So the weightage is less. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This digit will be having a power of 2 to the power of 4. So the weightage is so high. That is the reason it is least significant bit and most significant bit. Now 9. After 9, if you see, again we will be repeating 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct? It goes on. And only the MSB is changing. Instead of 0, it becomes 1 until you repeat everything. So this is how decimal notation is written. Now if you take binary, again binary is, the last digit will be 0, 1 because we have only one set of combinations, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Again 2 zeros, 2 ones, 2 zeros, 2 1. Then it is 4 zeros, 4 ones, 4 zeros, 4 ones. It goes on like that. Then it will be 8 zeros, 8 ones based on the bit position. Now let me take this. This, I told here we have 4 zeros and 4 ones. How did I arrive at that 4 zeros and 4 ones? What is the weightage for that? This will have a weightage of 0. So next one will be having a weightage of 1. What is the weightage for the third digit? The weightage will be 2 to the power of 2. The weightage for the third digit will be 2 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. That is why in the third digit from the LSB towards the MSB, you will be having 4 zeros, 4 ones. If you take up the next digit, say if I take up the fourth digit, this one, what will be the weightage of this? The weightage will be 2 to the power of 3 because it is binary. Binary is 2. 2 to the power of 3 is how much? 8. So that is why in the fourth column I am having 8 zeros and 8 ones. In the fourth column I'll be having, if you can see, the fourth column has 8 zeros and 8 ones. It goes on like that. That is the reason we use positional number system. Now converting from one notation to another. We have 4 formats, 4 parameters or 4 entities in a number system: octal, decimal, binary, hexadecimal. You can convert from one form to any of the other forms. So this is the graph. Now the first conversion what we are going to see is binary to octal conversion. Now suppose I want to convert a binary number to octal number. What I should do? I should take the complete binary number. So after taking the complete binary number, I should group the numbers. Now how will I group the numbers? See, whenever I am using, whenever I am grouping something which is not a decimal, which is a real part, which is not a decimal part, which is the integer part, in that case grouping will be from left to right. So we have to follow the grouping of from this format to this format if it is a integer part. If it is a decimal form part, you have to group from here to here. Now here I am using a decimal form, that is why my grouping will be from left to right. Okay, so you have to group from binary to octal 3 digits as at a time. So for binary to octal, we are grouping 3 digits at a time. First one, I have the second one. In the third one, I have only one. So what I should do? I should write 2 zeros because 1 and 001 will mean the same thing. Now if I group, what happens? 001 is the first number, second number will be 010, and the third number will be 101, this number. Now what is the binary equivalent of 101? It is the decimal, the octal equivalent of 101, because we are talking about binary to octal conversion. Octal equivalent of 101 is 5. Equivalent of 010 is 2. 001 is 1 according to the binary truth table. So the answer will be 125 to the base of 8. This is the solution. Now the next one is octal to binary. How do we convert octal to binary? First one was binary to octal. Now we have octal to binary. Conversion of octal to binary is very simple. Again, represent each number by a 3-digit binary equivalent. So what is a 3-digit binary equivalent for 7? 3-digit binary equivalent for 7 is 111. 3-digit binary equivalent for 5 is 101. And for 2 it is 010. In octal to binary conversions, we are going to use 3 digits at a time. Whereas hexadecimal to binary, binary to hexadecimal, we are going to use 4 digits at a time. See, octal to binary, we are going to use 3 digits, octal to binary or binary to octal. Binary to octal, we are going to use 3 digits at a time. When we take hexa to binary or binary to hexa, we are going to use 4 digits at a time. 4 digits at a time, and we can follow the same format for conversion. Left to right and right to left. So what did I tell you? If it is the without the decimal, if it is the integer part, we have to follow grouping from here to here. If it is the decimal part, you have to follow the grouping like this. Okay, why like this? The reason why it is like this is because if you take the scale, in your scale, what will be the value? If I take the scale, this will be 0. Towards the right side, it will be -1. Towards integer scale, -2, -3, it goes on like this, -4. And towards the left side, what do we have? It will be 1. And towards the left again, if you take it, you'll be having 2. Again towards the left, if you take it, you'll be having 3. So 0, how is the weightage? If you can see only here, it is the weightage will be generally from 0, 1, 2, 3 and -1, 0. In the decimal notation, this bit will have, this last 4 will be having the least weightage. In the decimal notation, if you take this bit will be having the least notation. This bit will be having the highest weightage. So that is the reason we are going to group it like this. So octal to binary, binary to hexa, what did we do? We have to group 4 at a time. So for the first job is we have to define which way we are going to group. So this grouping will be generally like this only. Then the next thing is we have to group 4 because it is binary to hexa, 4 ones at a time. Now what is the equivalent for 1011? The equivalent for 1011 is this value. The equivalent for this value, and here I don't have anything, which means that it is 0 and 0. So it is 0 0 1 0. So this is equal to B, this is equal to B, this is equal to 2. So hexadecimal will be, if we go to the number system, hexadecimal, how are we going to represent hexadecimal? Hexadecimal will be 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and the next one will be A B C D E F. Till here it is over. Then what I told, it is 1. So it is 1 0 1 1 1 2, it goes on up to 1F. After 1F, what will be the next number? After 1F, the next number will be 2 0 2 1 2 0 2 1, it goes on until 2F. Like this hexadecimal system will be numbered. In octal system, we are going to stop at 7. After 7, it is not 8 because we are discussing about octal. So it will be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Again, 20, 21. It goes on like this. Hexadecimal to binary also, we can group 4 at a time. Now, octal to hexadecimal. The easiest way to convert an octal to hexadecimal number is convert the octal number to binary. So let us convert this number to binary. What is the weightage? What is 2 equal to? 2 will be equal to 0, 1, 0. 7 is equal to 1, 1, 0. After that, I don't require this. This is not required for us. So the next part is not required for us. What is 5 equal to? 1, 0, 1. 3 is equal to 0, 1, 1. 6 is 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. This is also not required for us. Now, this is, we have converted to octal to binary. Now, how do we get the hexa format? To get the hexa format, how many digits at a time we have to group? We have to group 4 digits at a time. So this 4 digits form one group. So 1 to this 4 digits form the other group. And the last one, only 1 is left. So the remaining I have to add zeros. They will form one group. So this is one group. What is 1101? It is equivalent to D. Again, 1001, it is equivalent to 9. 001, it is 1. Now again from this side, how will we do the grouping for the decimal part? For the decimal part, the grouping should be done in this direction. So 4, 0, 1, 0, 1. 4 digits at a time. 4 digits over here. 4 digits over here. You can add zeros. So 0101 is equal to 5, 1100 is equal to C. This is the way we convert octal to hexadecimal. These are some simplest ways. There are different methods also. Hexadecimal to octal, how do we do? Again, we'll convert hexadecimal number to binary. From binary to convert to octal. So hexadecimal number is already converted into binary. For each digit, you're going to represent it by 4-bit binary equivalent. Now to convert it into octal, what we have to do? So here is a decimal. This will follow this direction. and here is a decimal, this will follow this direction. Now converting. So 4 bits, now we have to group only 3 bits at a time. Three at a time. So let us write 0, 1, 1 is 3, 1, 1, 1 is 7, 0, 0, 0 is 0, 1, 0, 1 is 5. Again here we have to group 3 at a time. So this is 3, only 1 is left, so I have used 2 more zeros. So 0, 1, 1 is 3, 1, 0, 0 is 4. This is how we are going to convert hexadecimal to octal. Now any base to decimal. How do we convert any number, base number, any base? It can be a hexadecimal number or an octal number or a binary number to decimal. Now the first example which is shown over here is binary to decimal. It can be hexadecimal to decimal, octal to decimal also. So how do we group it again? So whenever we are doing the conversion, again I have to follow the same notation. Arrow is like this. So what we'll do, first I'll write this over here. Now this bit, what is the weightage the bit the integer part has before the dot? This bit has a weightage of 2 to the power of 0. What is the value of the bit? 1 into 2 to the power of 0. The second bit has a value of 2 to the power of 1. So it is 1 into 2 to the power of 1. The third bit, it is 0 into 2 to the power of 2. The fourth one is 1 into 2 to the power of 3. And you're going to add all these things. So this is our integer part. Now let us take the decimal part. How do I do the decimal part? This bit will have the weightage of -1. This bit will have the weightage of -2. So -1, -2, -3, it goes on like this towards your right. So this will be 1 into 2 to the power of -1, 1 into 2 to the power of -2. 2 to the power of -1 is nothing but 1 divided by 2. 2 to the power of -2 is equal to 1 divided by 4. So 8 plus 2 plus 1 is 11. 0.5 plus 0.25 will be 0.75. So this is conversion of any base to decimal. Now how will we convert decimal to any base? Now to convert a decimal to a number to any base, we have to follow two parameters. We have to consider two parameters, I can tell, or 2 steps. The first step is integer. To convert the integer number, you're going to use successive division method. To convert the fractional part, you're going to use successive multiplication method. So what are the steps in successive division method? In successive division method, we are going to divide the integer part of decimal number by the base number. Say if I wanted the base to be 16. So I have a number 256. I should keep dividing 256 by 16. That is for the integer part. In multiplication part, 256.25 you assume. So 2.25 I should keep multiplying it into to the power of 16. So let us see how this is working. 125, we are seeing a integer number. 125 to the base 10 is equal to what? So what it is clearly telling, I want to convert a decimal number to binary number. So base of binary is 2. 125 divided by 2. So 262, 1 will be the remainder. 231, 0 will be the remainder. 215, 1 will be the remainder. 271 will be the remainder. 2 3s are 6, 1 is the remainder. 2 1s are 2, 1 is the remainder. And 2 zeros is 1. Now how will we write the number? So to write the number, we should follow the format from here. It should go like this, then it should go like this. That means the number will start from here 0. So the number will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. Sometimes what happens, we will not do one step. We will avoid this step because this is of no use. So the numbering can be from here itself. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. We can follow that. So that is why the arrow is like this. So avoid this step and let us go like this. So what is the next one? Now next we will take some examples. The first example is to convert the decimal number 3315 to hexadecimal. So 3315 to hexadecimal.